There could be a shakeup in the Trump administration. The president telling cabinet members Thursday that they are the ones to make the call on job cuts. The move appears to put some limits on the power of Elon Musk and his DOGE team. This comes amid heightened concerns and pushback over the mass firings of federal workers. Trump says the cuts are still needed, but with more discretion.
I want the cabinet members to keep good people. I don't want to see a big cut where a lot of good people are cut.
Meanwhile, the Trump administration is giving Canada and Mexico a temporary break from tariffs on some products. To help give us some clarity on all of this, let's bring in CBS News correspondent Natalie Brand live at the White House. Natalie, good morning to you. Help us understand which industries are covered by this temporary pause.
Good morning, Errol. Yeah, these are all products which are part of the USMCA or U.S.-Mexico-Canada trade agreement, which was negotiated during Trump's first administration. And what we're talking about here, if you go into the actual trade agreement, when it comes to Mexico, there are hundreds of pages of products listed, everything from autos, which we already know that there was this pause on automobiles, but everything from autos to alcohol, agriculture, of course, we're talking about meat, fruits, vegetables, also building supplies is a big one that people were worried about. These are all categories of products that fall under this key trade agreement. A White House official told reporters yesterday that it's about 50% or so of the goods imported, but Mexico's president saying mostly everything falls under this trade agreement. When it comes to Canada, the list is slightly shorter. A White House official saying it's about 38% or so of goods. And notably, Errol, Canadian energy is not part of this agreement. That is subject to the lower 10% tariff, as well as something called potash. That's a key ingredient in fertilizer that U.S. farmers use. That will also be tariffed at this lower rate now, 10%.
Remarkable that so much is covered under this pause. You wonder what's left. And meanwhile, the push and pull of the threats and the retaliation, it leaves a lot of industries on edge, including the farm industry, which has to plan their season out ahead of time. How is the U.S. farm industry reacting to all of this?
Yeah, and I spoke to a key farmers group, Farmers for Free Trade, ahead of the pause when they were really worried about this larger trade war, the potential for it. They were worried about that fertilizer, which we now know is going to be tariffed at the lower rate because that could increase the cost to the farmers themselves. But, Errol, they're also worried about the tit for tat with China that's already underway because, remember, the new additional tariffs on China are still in effect, and China announced retaliatory tariffs on its own of key products like corn and soybeans. So this already has farmers concerned. This one group, Farmers for Free Trade, has been holding town halls this week nationwide. They had one earlier in the week in Denver. Last night, they had one in Nashville, listening to farmers and other business leaders about their concerns of what could be a brewing, looming trade war. Take a listen.
Uncertainty kills business, right? You need to be able to plan. Farmers right now are in the process of planting or getting ready to plant their crops for the year. So they need to make planting decisions. And that's really hard to do when you don't know what your markets are going to look like. So uncertainty is terrible. The other thing I'd say is trade wars cause long-term disruption for U.S. agriculture.
And what he's talking about there is, remember the trade war during the first administration? He said other places like Brazil started planting more products such as soybeans. China started buying from them. So they are worried about the implications of losing market share here. And also remember, Errol, that during that trade war, during the first Trump administration, the administration ended up providing billions of dollars of assistance to farmers to try to offset some of their losses. I remember speaking to farmers at the time who said they wanted trade, not aid.
Yeah, taxpayers, great point, Natalie, had to make up for what was lost. Thank you for that reporting.